This talk is about how we create course materials at the University of Zurich, and specifically about the tool we are using for this, which we developed over the last 3 years. But let's start with one of my favorite quotes about Mathematica. Mathematica will revolutionize the teaching and learning of math by focusing on the prose of mathematics without getting lost in the grammar. So this is a quote from a quite visionary, and Stephen and Conrad used it in their talks, and yeah, it's back from 1988, and there are two ways to think about this quote. I think we all agree that the Wolfram language has all the built-in knowledge, all the data sources, and all it needs to make teaching or improve teaching and learning for students. But on the other side, this quote is more than 20 years old, and I don't know about you, but I haven't seen Mathematica during my studies or in school. And so why don't we see it? And I think the answer is Wolfram builds all these great technologies, but to use all of them in the classroom on a day-by-day basis on teaching job, it needs a little bit more. It needs some tool or something that puts all the pieces of technology together. And yeah, so I think that's the reason we don't see it yet that much, but it is already in classroom. So this is a picture from Zurich, January this year, and what you see on this image is a large classroom with 150 students, and they are writing an exam. And the guy here in the front, you can see it, this is Karl, professor in statistics and operations research at the University of Zurich. And yeah, maybe you cannot see it very well, so I have another picture from this. So all the students are using computers, and on all the computers there is Mathematica running, and they are solving exams with Mathematica. And as you can see it here from screen, so there's no paper in this exam. The students will just upload their files, and that is it. All right, and so we created the exams and all the courseware for this course with CREO. So what is CREO? Technically speaking, CREO is a palette in Mathematica, which is connected to a package developed by us, and this is connected to a cloud. And I will show you this in a minute. Practically speaking, for teachers, CREO is just an add-on to Mathematica that allows you to create and deploy any kind of course materials. All right, so I said it's a palette, so here it's in the palettes menu. All right, so it would ask me for login. Let's see. So everything I show you is somehow dependent on the Wi-Fi here, which is obviously not the best, so I hope it works. So this is CREO. It lives in Mathematica, and it comes with user accounts. So this is my account, and why is that? Why do we need accounts? That is because all the files, all the course materials are stored in the cloud. So we can work with them conveniently in Teams. We can work in the US or in Europe or where we want. And so here are some of the courses. And now I will show you an example. So this talk is only 25 minutes, so I can only zoom in a little bit. There's not enough time to show you all of it, but I really want to give you an expression. And yeah, so, all right. A little bit because of yeah. So I hope you can see this, this navigation bar in the top. So CREO is basically an authoring tool. So we open a file now, which is a notebook, but it comes with a specific navigation bar. And the general idea is, in order to make it more convenient, we want to have something like what you see is what you get, something like a PowerPoint, but with all the power of Mathematica inside. So yeah, so this is an example course, and so I just created it. So this, for example, is just a lecture. So we see all the custom styles and environments you would use creating courseware. And yeah, so this is the first lecture. And here is a preview of this lecture. And just to get started, yeah, I can just use this and write some more text. So yeah, we have items and all this stuff. Definitions get a little bit of highlighting. We can use Wolfram alpha, queries. So yeah, here's an example you see on it. Right, so that's the weather today. And here's an example. So here you see this is blue. This is for typesetting, so that you can make this look beautiful. And if you say this A should be a parameter, so then this gets blue. All right, so far, I mean, this is basically what you can do in PowerPoint and in LaTeX, for example. So what we need Mathematica for? So one thing which is useful is the following. So we have different environments here in CREO. So the working environment, you know this if you have created a slideshow on your own. Then we have the preview of the slideshow. So that's just what I created now and how the notebook for the student would look then later. And then we have this reader version. And see it here, it looks pretty similar. but there's the idea is when we create some course materials for a lecture, then this is a presentation, and maybe it contains a definition. And now you might want to explain or give a little bit more to the student to take home, so something like an explanation. But you don't want to see this on your course or on your slideshow in class. And so we have the slideshow where you would not see this, so just the definition we created, and then we have the reader version where you would see the explanation for this. So this is making use of the notebook and cell structure in Mathematica. So we can create courseware and then decide on how to use the contents in different environments. All right, and now comes the more interesting things. So, of course, we use coding. And so this is pretty straightforward. So this is still Mathematica. So we can just use copy and paste some example here directly into the course materials, and then we would see it here. But in some cases, you might want to use maybe plots and so on, but you don't want to show the code to the students. And so if that is what you want, just showing the plot in this case, then you would say that this is hidden code. So then it gets this red frame. It's still there, so you can still change it, but in the slideshow, that's the version the students get. Here, you would only see the image of the plot, and in this other case, you can see the whole code. And of course, students can use and manipulate the code in the course materials directly to see how they work. So it's something like in the documentation center. You can play around with the examples. All right. And of course, one thing the Wolfram language is particularly interesting for is using dynamics. And here, you might know this, the demonstrations project, so I can just download, download some code from the demonstrations project. Yep, I have this here. Right. Take the code, paste it here, evaluate it, and then I get the demonstration. So here I would say this is a dynamic graphic, this is a demonstration, and I don't want the students to see the code, so I make it hidden code. And then later on in the slideshow, they would just see the demonstration. Okay, so that is basically what it needs to create course materials, and we use this a lot. And then we can just go click, I want to deploy this as a student notebook, proceed, and I would get this. So let's see. Sorry, just created, and it looks like the slideshow preview, but obviously without the authoring tool. And so this is what the students will get here. Okay. The idea is the same for assignments. We use automated grading, and we also give data in the assignments. I'll show you an example, but I cannot go into too much detail. Let's see. All right. Yeah, the connection is not that fast. All right. So this is an assignment. This is actually a case study. You see here the toolbar is slightly different. We have questions, sub-questions, and so on. So, but the idea is still the same. Here we have some data which will be attached to the notebook the students get so that they can do their own coding. And here are the questions, and we have different question types, and we can use code to have something like answers as formulas, and we can grade code and plots like expressions and all this, what we would need in an exam. Okay, and here the same, we can just with one click, we can deploy this as a Mathematica notebook to students. And there's one more interesting thing. We do individualize all our exams, so no two students get the exactly same exam. And here we can get a preview. So this is just deployed to the Wolfram cloud now. It probably takes a while. Okay, so here we see the link. Oh. To see the link, and we open this. Then here is the test, and it will be automatically graded. So this is just a stupid example, but yeah. Okay, so we are using this, and it works. We're getting more experienced, but yeah, there's still some issues. When we have to deal with files, then you also have to worry about uploading, downloading those files. Then Wolfram releases new versions of Mathematica every quarter. So then on some older computers, they wouldn't work, or then students run different versions. And yeah, so the question is, can we reduce our technical efforts, our efforts for technical support and maintenance even more? Furthermore, can we make the course materials more like integrated? So we want to learn what students are doing when they fill in the tests, and when they look at the course materials, we want to know where they spend the most time. And we also want to tell them, so you did 5 mistakes in this test, and so you should review the following materials of the course materials. But for all this, we would need something else, or we would need a little bit more than just Mathematica notebooks. And the answer is silver. So yeah, you can already see it. All right. So you see, this is in the browser. So this is online now. Students would not need Mathematica licenses to access this. And this is an education platform. So where students get different apps. Here is the app for courseware. And just start this course. All right, yeah. And what you see here looks pretty similar like in CREO. And in fact, it's deployed from CREO. So this is what you see here is a parsed Mathematica notebook. The interesting thing then is what do we do with the dynamic objects? And so they are automatically deployed as cloud objects. Yeah, and so that's the idea. And we will also use this for the assignments and all kinds of assessment. So all the questions will be cloud objects. Each student gets a different cloud object to answer the question, and then we can grade this automatically, but have the convenience of integrating all this on one platform. So this is Silver, and let's go back to CREO. You see this here already. This will push the assignment to the test app Pine, and maybe I can show you one more from the course materials. Yeah, so we have this the deployment option also in the course materials, so that's all automated, the whole pipeline here. Okay, so what's next? In terms of CREO, we will release soon some extensive style and user interface improvements. So we wanted like even more integrated. You have seen the assessment notebooks did not look like really pretty, and so we will come up with some more improvements for this. Also working on further question types to add performance improvements. You've seen this. All the files live in the cloud, so this is obviously an issue when you're in the US or Europe and you want to access your files. All this, then we will improve the handling and grading of assessment and student management in general. And we will start shipping CREO at the end of this year. We already have like some interested teachers on the waiting list, and the pushing and deploying to Silver will be available in 2017. Okay, and if you're interested, come and talk to us. Okay, thank you for your attention.